Hello and welcome to day 21 of Inktober Tangles challenge. Here are my 5 tiles that I finished so far, and here is the number 6 which I will be working on today. But somebody asked me about this spot and it took me a while to understand what they were asking about because I haven't even noticed that there was a space with missing color here. But here it is now. Everything's well in the universe. And I can store away these 5 tiles that I completed during 20 days. And I can start working on the letter B, which is the beginning of day number 6 of Inktober Tangles challenge. And I appreciate you being here. Please know how grateful I am to be able to go through this creative process with you by my side. It's my pleasure to share with you. I'm Anica Gabro. It's a CZT from Croatia, in case you didn't know. And I'm starting with the 4 dots and the border. And maybe even a little string here, which I might use, or maybe I will just ignore. We start with a tangle Butria. Butria? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, by Ute Andressen, CZT. And it's basically a triangular butterfly shape again another butterfly, which you might argue is a non-tangle, and you might be right, but it is what it is, and I plan to enjoy it whether it's a tangle or a non-tangle. I'm starting with this kind of a body of this butterfly, and you can see that I started almost at the half of this shape that I'm planning to nest this guy in. And from this central point, I'm extending the line into both directions. And then, I don't know, this next step kind of makes me think about it like it resembles a spider. And trust me, I don't like spiders. I'm afraid of spiders. So I will be happy to get rid of that shape as soon as possible. Anyway, the way to get rid of it is to add some roundings to these shapes, which is what I'm doing now. And I'm not sure if there is any specific order in which you should do this. Maybe you could do it at any order you prefer. I started from the bottom and I'm going towards the top. And finally, when I reach the top, I will add these 2 antennae, although I'm not sure that they are supposed to be here. I don't think it's a part of the step out, but I decided to use it. And because I'm not particularly fond of my shape, so I'm not talking about the step out, I'm talking just about what I created right here, I will add some love to it to make it look more beautiful, or to make me like it more. And it's always by adding some more contrast and more love to whatever the shape is. I think I'm saying that in almost every video, but you never know when somebody is going to run into one of those videos, and maybe that will be their first video or Zentangle themed video ever, and they might think, oh, no, I'm not good at this, I'm not an artist, I can't draw. So this is why I kind of try to repeat it every time, countless times. It's not about the artistic skill, it's about enjoying the process. And of course, at one point, you start enjoying your stroke as well. I mean, the outcome of those strokes. You start noticing that there is some progress, that you are maybe feeling more confident at, you know, with whatever you create, or maybe you just start not caring as much about the outcome and start enjoying just being here in this moment and taking the moment for yourself and creating for the sake of creation and not for the sake of the result. I'm going to add some ornaments or maybe some details inside of these wings. And now I'm improvising. And it's exactly what I'm talking about, you know, you can start enjoying the process when you stop caring about what the result will be and start doing things just for the fun of it, and start appreciating the experience of doing this. I'm going to add some orbs into this bottom part, and maybe you can notice how I'm not really drawing the orbs, the circles or ovals. I'm more or less just adding the rounding in this top part and then just adding like a half curve in the bottom part. So these orbs look like they are smushed inside this shape. And I think this is it. You know, it's very simple, it's very airy. I kind of like it, but now I hope that after I add some shades and highlights, it will be even nicer. So, okay, let's add some shades and highlights to this non-tangle. I'm adding this shade on the bottom side again, trying to create the contrast between different sections of whatever the shape is or the tangle is. So I'm applying some color or graphite here, and I'm using this matte graphite pencil just because I'm working here under a very bright LED light or LED panel. So if I use the regular graphite, it looks really shiny. You can see the glare, and I like this matte version of it. It's quite dark as well. I will also add a little bit of graphite on the sides of its body, but I'm thinking about maybe adding a little bit of blue. Okay, let's see. Just to the sides, and then I will kind of blend it. And in the middle, then I can add some white. It's just to kind of differentiate between his body and his wings. And I'm adding the charcoal white to the top of each wing, maybe even a little bit below this kind of interrupted line that I added in each wing. And you can see now that I have muted this black line, and I like my lines to be bold, so I just added a little bit more and for the additional highlight, but also for the texture, I'm just adding some dots. And now I'm thinking, after I finish with these little dots on its wings, I could go back and add some white to the mid part of its body, but I'm not sure it's dry yet. So perhaps what I can do is start adding some highlights and shades to the letter, which I do with every letter anyway. Trying to be careful not to go over the lines and to, you know, it's quite kind of a narrow space, so I don't want to smudge whatever I'm using, shade or highlight, all over it. I want to have enough space for both, for the lights, highlights, and for the shades. And maybe just a little bit of shade on this bottom part of each of these sections, so the opposite part from where the highlights are. Okay, I think that the letter has some volume now, and hopefully now this part is dry, and I'm just carefully adding the white and blending it. And now I'm even considering whether I need any dots here. Maybe just a little bit more light with my Prismacolor white, because it will not tear the paper. It will just add more bright white to it, and a little bit more black, because I think that my lines have been muted. And that's it. That's my Butria tangle by Andressen. So day 21 is done, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for drawing with me. Bye.